It's a good thing that Arizona has an open carry law because the Ohio State Buckeyes shot themselves in the foot and Clemson took advantage. They forced the Buckeyes into 3 turnovers. What a performance tonight. This wasn't just a victory, this was a beatdown. The conclusion of the college football season, Clemson and Alabama kicking it off for the national title right behind me inside of Raymond James Stadium. It all comes down to heart, and that's a good thing for Clemson because they're known for bringing their own guts. Hottest ticket in Arizona isn't a Taylor Swift concert or an Arizona Cardinals game. It's the New Year's Eve Fiesta Bowl. Probably think of the Atlantic City Boardwalk, the hot dogs, or maybe the hit MTV show with Snooki and Mike the Situation Sorrentino. What you don't think about is Jamie Chadwell and the Charleston Southern football team. But this weekend, if you're on the shore, you're more likely to see Chadwell than the spray tan Snooki and Situation. The Bucks ain't about that GTL life. Instead, it's the WTG life. And the Clemson football players feel the love, especially North Charleston native John Simpson, the freshman reserve offensive lineman. Instead of counting sheep tonight, whenever Dabo Sweeney lays his head on the pillow, he's going to be counting potential touchdowns. That is focused. New year, same old Tigers. Cue the confetti because Clemson's going back to the national championship. And we really had a good feeling by the end of the third quarter that Ohio State was no match for Clemson. Not many people saw this coming. They feel like underdogs. Hard to believe, and Las Vegas doesn't agree. They are a 6-point favorite. I wouldn't call it a rivalry between these two. They've only met on the football field 16 times, but they are very familiar with each other because they met in last year's national title game. Tampa has turned into Tiger Town, a lot more orange than crimson out here. Spencer Carberry started his career with the Stingrays as a player, winning the Kelly Cup, and then he moved up the ranks from there. In the last 5 years, Carbs has established himself as a member of Mount Rushmore, at least in the eyes of the Stingray. Talk about keeping the cards close to vest. You can call it a Gamecock gamble by Will Muschamp. The first-year head football coach says he will not publicly announce who is starting at quarterback until South Carolina's September 1st opener at Vanderbilt. That'll make the Commodore coaching staff sweat, but the delay doesn't have the guys competing for the job showing any sign of sweat. Picture day in Columbia, no suspense in the eyes of Brandon McElwain and Jake Bentley, 2 freshmen going for the gig, having fun with each other. Will Muschamp, believe it or not, even cracked a smile himself. Kind of had to force that one out. I'm about to tell you guys why. All right, let's roll the tape. Buford and Wando, it's just a routine play, guys. Right up the middle.
Watch your 6, Wes.
Wait for it, wait for it. The Buford guy, boom, delivering a boom to the camera guy. By the way, that guy was me. I was behind the lens, and I hit my backside quicker than Usain Bolt hits that 100. My knees are good. It's like my neck.
Well, I'm glad you're okay, Evan.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
I'm the mom in the group. I'm concerned about how you're doing.
I'm just glad that my camera's okay, all right? Otherwise I'd be in a lot more trouble. When you win championships, you go to Disney World. And with last night's ACC title, the Tigers can drive right down the street to make that happen. Although I doubt there's any roller coaster inside of Magic Kingdom that can top the high the Tigers are on. The Gamecocks don't have to finish the season as losers. With a 5-5 record, they return home next weekend to take on FCS Western Carolina. A win for South Carolina would make them bowl eligible. The reigning kings of the Big South Conference were in the Queen City today receiving royal treatment from their peers. Are you a Red Bull guy or a coffee guy before games?
This coffee's good.
And is that what really fuels the fire that we see on the sidelines?
No, what you see is what you get. It's authentic.
Peggy? We have sailors that literally come from all over the country.
And those kids put so much time in on the water.
Trim.
Stefano Pashira isn't getting the regular college experience.
Yeah, a little bit more sacrifices, a little bit less partying.
The sophomore from Peru was born with salt water in his veins.
My dad's family has been a sailing family since long ago.
And Stefano is carrying on the family tradition.
All right, left.
Underneath the sun, near the Charleston harbor.
We have to pass them up.
Yeah, I'm gonna help read here.
Sailing takes a boatload of skill, teamwork, and strength to keep the engine running.
I train about 6 days a week on the water.
And it goes beyond the boat. Stefano has an entire team, including a trainer, nutritionist, and physician who are helping him prepare to sail the Laser in Rio. It's a 14-foot, one-person boat.
Can we help to get out, Ryan?
Are you making the box?
But the only thing he has to worry about today is being blindsided by the boom.
We're good.
Representing Peru, your country, what will that be like for you?
It's awesome to have been representing my country since I'm a kid. It fills me up with pride.
And the college is proud of Stefano Kike and Paris for representing their countries and the school on the world's biggest stage.
I think a big goal for someone like Stefano would be to make the medal race.
Now, regardless of the results in the races,
These 2 years I've been here have been the best 2 years of my life.
the Cougars still own the crown when it comes to college sailing.
It's definitely not for everybody, but I think it shows the depth and the strength of this program.
This is like my second family.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and while we celebrate former fighters and survivors, we don't celebrate many men. Only 1% of those diagnosed by breast cancer are guys. The Fort Dorchester football team is in the top 1%, at least when it comes to talent. They are the defending state champions after all, but one of their own is fighting for more than playoff position. Wide receivers coach Kevin White is fighting for his life.
One look and it is easy to see. There's no place Kevin White would rather be than Bagwell Stadium. A Fort Dorchester alum, Kevin used to wear the same helmet as these players.
He was the first guy, maybe the only guy I've ever had that played both sides of the ball.
After walking on at South Carolina, the Gamecock traded in his helmet for a hat and took up coaching.
When you go by.
All right. I enjoy helping kids. I want to see them successful in the classroom, on the field, and in life.
He's the first player turned coach at Fort Dorchester, and the hard work paid off in his first season on the sidelines.
We got the state championship, the big one.
But 6 months later, the celebration ceased, and the ultimate audible was called.
I was diagnosed on June 15th, 2016.
And then a battle began with breast cancer.
It was kind of crazy. It was just, you never expect it to be you, but you have to understand that people do beat this thing. This thing is beautiful.
After a mastectomy, Kevin fought through chemotherapy, but he wasn't alone. He says his fight was easier thanks to his faith in God and his family's unwavering support.
They all called, they all, sent the text, they all, prayed with me, so they helped me a lot to, get through that rough time.
Even with chemo, Kevin stayed true to his calling as a coach and never missed a practice.
Cameras in your face, so you decide to block him.
I've seen him run behind the building and throw up and run back and never miss a drill. He's special.
Work your feet, Chaz.
He uses his cancer as an answer and example, showing his players what true perseverance is.
If anything they can get from this is you just got to push through.
Cancer doesn't care if he's a football coach, but Kevin is tackling breast cancer head on.
I never thought it would happen to me.
He's the toughest guy in the building. He's the man.
Just pray about it, keep the faith, keep fighting.
And he fought the good fight. Kevin had his last chemo session earlier this month, and he is now cancer-free. He says he's focused on football season and staying healthy, and plans on getting a mammogram, and encourages all men to get a yearly physical because it just might save your life. That's all for sports. We do have more news, too, coming up after the break.